Well, well, well. Just when everybody thought that Jerry Jones was not doing any talking, Jerry Jones not only comes out talking, Jerry Jones comes out swinging in Jerry Jones style. And so today we are going to be reacting to the Jerry Jones press conference. It's only about 11 minutes. We'll also be looking at some other Cowboys news and some very significant, I don't know if it's necessarily significant Cowboys news, but definitely some things that we can talk about. Jerry, what's going on? Good to see you. What up? Daggone's filthy. Jared, man, we got some things to talk about today that might benefit Dak Prescott. And we will talk a little bit about Dak Prescott. What's going on, Roderick? Good to see you. Michael James, what's going on? But we got this Jerry Jones interview on tap, and that's what we're going to be talking about. I think I'm going to agree with Daggone's filthy. That like button as you come in if you can. Wilson Santiago, what's going on? Wilson, boy, you be having me rolling, man. I be reading your comments, man, on some of the videos. Boy, you be having me rolling. Yes, sir, Wilson Santiago. Jerry is back like he never left. That man Jerry back like he never left. Jerry up in here dropping bombs. He is dropping bombs. And like I said, I haven't listened to all of it, but actually I hadn't listened to it. Let me stop saying all of it. I saw it and I was like, hey, this would be a good time to do a video. I normally don't do videos on Wednesday, but I'm gonna try to get him in on Wednesday now. Yes, sir. I agree with Dak on filthy again. Hit that like button. Matt D, what's going on? Well, well, well. Now, Matt D, this is not news to anybody that's been following me. This is not news. This actually isn't news. I have been saying for months the Cowboys will be able to amass $100 million in salary cap space. I don't understand why everybody's acting so surprised. Maybe because they're not listening. I've been talking about this. I don't even understand why people are saying, yeah, man, Dak and CD didn't do anything. They already had this worked into the contract. Anybody who's been listening to me will tell you. Dak and CD didn't do anything. Jerry and Steven flipped the switch on those contracts they had already built in. They flipped the switch. And now we got the salary cap space. And now they got to go do Micah Parsons to get more salary cap space. They saved salary cap space with none other than Oso Digizua. They got some more to go. I think they have some decisions to make on the two safeties. They've already decided on Terrence Steele. But I still think they need to go and revisit Terrence Steele's deal. Y'all better get ready. I don't know what's going to happen with one Trayvon Diggs. But the Cowboys can walk away from Trayvon Diggs and save another $10 million. Let me tell y'all something, man. The Cowboys got options. They have options. And they have some serious options to really get this team back competitive. And I've told everybody, I said this before, we're going to be competitive. Everything, I've been saying this, no matter if anybody's agreeing or disagreeing, I've been saying this, David Ivory. Nobody's listening to me. Cowboys are going to be competitive. And I am confident that they're going to do something in free agency that's going to shock us. I guess the one thing that'll shock us is they'll be active. Amen? That'll probably shock everybody. Let's get into it. What's going on, Angie? Rebel Chick, she said, I'm driving home listening. What's going on? Okay, you still got Rebel Chicks. You haven't switched your name up. Let me tell you, the Cowboys are about to do work. Joseph MC80, what's going on? Yeah, I'm telling you, Joseph, just keep coming to the channel, man. Anybody who's been listening to me for a while, I've been talking about this. I know I'm using incorrect grammar. I've been talking about this. When other folk have been all down and out, nope, I hadn't been down and out. I've been talking about this. The Cowboys made their mind up that they were going to do this the moment they lost that Green Bay game. And I don't care what anyone says. They were done with Mike McCarthy, and they were ready to move on. And again, that's why I keep telling folks, they came to Mike McCarthy not with an offer he couldn't refuse. They came to Mike McCarthy with an offer he could refuse. Now, I didn't foresee them hiring Brian Schottenheimer, but I'll tell you this, man, everything they've been doing since Brian Schottenheimer, I'm down with it, because the Cowboys finally got a coach they believe in since Jimmy Johnson. They finally got a coach they believe in since Jimmy Johnson. I don't think they believed in a coach like this since Jimmy Johnson. I don't think they put together a coaching staff like this since Jimmy Johnson. Brian Schottenheimer, he doesn't have the skins on the wall like Jimmy Johnson. But when I think about this coaching staff that they have put around him, they've insulated him with. They have insulated him with some veteran help. But they've also insulated him with some young, hungry dogs. I mean, they got coaches talking like players. I mean, when the offense coordinator says that our run game, we want to be violent. Oh, man. I like what I'm hearing. What's going on, my man, Delta Roots? Michael James, what's going on? Man, I keep saying. Now, Michael James, I don't think it'll be this year. But if it do, I love it. 2026. They're going to make a serious Super Bowl run. My girl, Nisi, what's going on? Let me get a couple more greetings in, then we're going to get to this Jerry video, man. We got to hear Jerry. Jerry ain't spoken so long. He back like he never left, though. Greg Johnson, what's going on? Greg, I've been saying it, haven't I? I've been saying this. They moving different. They're moving different. And they started moving different the moment they got Schottenheimer in the building. I'm telling us. Lonnie, what's going on? Benjamin, what's going on with you? Benjamin Rodriguez, yes, sir. Well. You are correct. Let's win again. Say bye-bye to Trey. Hey, I'm just telling us. Trayvon Diggs may shock a lot of people, but it's not going to shock me. I talked about this before anybody. I ain't going to say anybody, but I talked about this weeks ago. People needed to understand that Trayvon Diggs deal. And I'm going to tell y'all something about this Oso Diggy-Zua deal before we get to Jerry. Man, that Oso Diggy-Zua deal, master contract. That Oso Diggy-Zua deal is a master contract. It's a master contract. They fixed it so that they could literally walk away from Oso Diggy-Zua in 2 seasons with minimal cap hit, and also allowing Oso Diggy-Zua to still be young enough to go to another team and start a career if it don't work out here. Man, I'm telling you, those 2 contracts, and especially Trayvon Diggs, I'm not going to be surprised they walk away from Trayvon Diggs. P-Funk, what's going on? Oh, man, Nisa, we talked a little bit about it last night. We're going to talk some more about this today before we get off here, but we're going to have to talk about DK Metcalf, because for me, I think I said this last night, but DK Metcalf is the only wide receiver. Let me think. I'm trying to think if there was another one. But to my recollection, the only one that I've said, DK Metcalf is the only receiver the Cowboys could actually pick up in free agency that would make me say, don't go in the draft and get a wide receiver. DK Metcalf is the only one that can do that. He's the only one that can do that. And I'm going to tell you now, the Cowboys, the way they're moving, they keep telling folk they're not getting, I think they're preparing us that they're not getting Ashton Jeanty at number 12. I just think they're preparing us. Now, the thing is, Ashton Jeanty may not be there. But I also think they're preparing us that they may not, that if he is there, they're not going to get Ashton Jeanty at number 12. And I think that may be wide receiver. And I also think they believe the running back class is so deep, the Cowboys may shock us again and go defense in the second round. They may go defense in the second round. They may go get the Trayvon Diggs replacement in the second round. We don't know. They may even go get another defensive tackle in the second round and then do running back in the third. Now, I'm pretty adamant I think the Cowboys, honestly, I don't care if they dedicate the entire free agency to nothing but defense. Because short of DK Metcalf coming in, I'll just be honest with you. I don't want to see Cooper Kupp. You can convince me of Devontae Adams if he coming in cheap. If Devontae Adams is coming in around, what do y'all think? $10 million? I mean, maybe you can get Devontae Adams on a $10 million a year deal. Bring him in. You start talking like 15. Nah, we're not gonna do Devontae Adams. We don't need that. We don't need that. Now, again, when we start talking about DK Metcalf is a whole different discussion. I think you have to seriously have a discussion about DK Metcalf. That you talking about DK Metcalf. I would literally have a conversation about $15 million. Y'all tell me what you think in the chat. I would literally have a conversation about DK Metcalf at $15 million a year with the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm not talking no 2-year deal. I'm talking 3-year deal. You give DK Metcalf something around, hey, man, we'll give you 3 years, $55 million deal. Really a $45 million a year deal. We'll give you a $15 million per year deal, $45 million guaranteed, and then we'll throw in some incentives. I would seriously consider somebody like DK Metcalf if you could get that. But I got a strange feeling, man. DK Metcalf is that type of receiver. Somebody's probably willing to make him a $20 million receiver. Some team, they're asking for a trade. Some team is probably willing to make DK Metcalf a $20 million per year receiver. I think that DK Metcalf is going to be a swing for the fences, and he's going to be a hard swing. I also still think I'm with you, Nisi. I know, again, for me, free agency with the Cowboys in these trades, I'm aiming for the fences on a couple of these. Myles Garrett, I'm aiming for the fences. I'm literally stepping up to the plate and saying I'm about to try to hit a home run. And the reason why I'm saying this about DK Metcalf and Myles Garrett in particular, and those may be two far-fetched people, but we have to understand, short of them, everyone else, they're not home runs. They're not home runs. DK Metcalf is a home run. Myles Garrett is a home run. And the reason why I say that, they both come onto your team and they totally change the complexion of your team. Your entire offense changes with DK Metcalf. I mean, your entire offense changes with DK Metcalf. They're already saying the Cowboys are going to try to keep Rico Dowdle. Now, I'm not going to poo-poo at Rico Dowdle, but here's my issue. I want them to let Rico Dowdle test free agency. Let Rico Dowdle test free agency. And if nobody wants him, and if you want to bring Rico Dowdle back, we just got to make sure we bring him back cheap. We got to bring Rico Dowdle back cheap if we're going to have Rico Dowdle. And you let him, he be our grounded out back. But you doggone go in this draft and you get a home run hitter like Travion Henderson. Because if you're bringing Rico Dowdle back, you're probably telling us you're not going to get Genty or Omarion Hampton. But, boy, you better make every effort to get Travion Henderson. You have got to get a home run hitter or go get one of these sub-40 running backs. You got to get a home run hitter. You need a guy that can hit his head on the goalpost anytime you give him the ball or if you give him a sliver of daylight. But, again, I'm just telling us, man, the Cowboys, they move in different. They move in different. What would be the shocking move they would do in free agency? I think the shocking move they would do in free agency at this point would be, for me, it would be more defensive as far as picking up free agents. But DK Metcalf, Myles Garrett, those are more like trades. But the defensive stuff to me is what would be, I really want them to build the defense that they can through free agency. Dak Prescott needs a bona fide defense on the other side. He does. He needs a bona fide defense. Not all this stuff we've been no, I don't want a number one ranked defense. I want a number one defense. Philly not only had the number one ranked defense, they had the number one defense that when you saw them on tape, you said, that's the best defense in the NFL. We've had top 10 defenses when Dak was here, and you still saw so many deficiencies. Do we not realize that Dan Quinn defense that we took in with the Green Bay Packers, If I'm not mistaken, that was a top 10 defense or close to it. And how they got that top 10 was early in the season, and then they dissipated towards the end, but they had amassed so many stats that by the end they were still close. But if we were doing the eye test, we were like, man, we're not a top 10 defense. We don't have linebackers. We can't stop the run. How did we get this? It was some of the stuff we did early. And we did that a lot with these Dan Quinn defenses. The Dan Quinn defenses, they would get a lot of stats early. But then towards the end, those defenses would just shatter. They would just shatter. We need a number one defense. I want Jerry and these guys to go in and get a number one defense. I want them to go in free agency and let your free agency be about defense. And as far as the trade goes, with DK Metcalf, I think the Cowboys seriously need to consider it. I think they seriously need to consider it. Now, again, Devontae Adams, you'd have to talk me into it. Now, it ain't going to take a lot of talking. You just need to tell me about what the price is. Devontae Adams, I think he could be great for the Cowboys. I'm a little bit concerned about Devontae Adams, though, because, man, I just didn't see it. Y'all tell me what you think. I just didn't see it with the Jets. But we're about to get into this Jerry thing. Let me greet a few more people. Victor Maldonado, what's going on? Yes, Dak is the best in the division when healthy, no doubt about it. And that's why we got to make sure Dak stay healthy this year. I see. What's going on? Nisi said, Nisi got me rolling. She said, I'm here for the prophecy. She got me rolling. She said, I'm here for the prophecy. Nisi, I've been saying this stuff. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just been saying this stuff because I just think the Cowboys are moving different. And I think they're going to make some huge strides. And I think free agency, I am praying that we get Micah Parsons done this Friday. Y'all tell me in the chat, but I want Micah Parsons done this Friday. I don't want them to take Micah Parsons past free agency. I want you to do Micah Parsons before free agency. Now, it will not surprise me. Y'all remember the video I played last night. Now, Micah Parsons said something very specific. It all depends on who we're trying to get. So they fulfilled a part of what he said. They went and got Oso Digizua. They're probably going to go get Jordan Lewis. Sounds like they're going to probably get D-Law. We'll see what D-Law's price is. So they've already brought back some of their own because it sounds like Micah wanted some of that. Now the next question is, what do they do in free agency? Micah Parsons is going to be very interested in that. Micah Parsons is going to be very interested in that. Even though I want his deal to be done, I would love for Micah Parsons' deal to be done by Friday. And let's see, free agency, the tampering date is March the 10th. So that's Monday. So official free agency starts on Wednesday. So I would like to see Micah Parsons' deal done by Friday. No later than Sunday night. So that Monday we can start the legal tampering. And we can start getting a feel for maybe what the Dallas Cowboys may be trying to do trade-wise, what the Cowboys may try to do defensively. Now, I want us to think on this. There are a couple of guys that we need to talk about from Seattle because I know I would love to have DK Metcalf, but I'll tell you another one, don't rule it out. Don't rule out Tyler Lockett. Do not rule out Tyler Lockett. Shotty has some experience with Tyler Lockett. He has some experience with Tyler Lockett. And I do believe that Tyler Lockett is he's a solid wide receiver. Tyler Lockett, to me, would challenge any of our number 3 receivers. He put Jalen Tolbert in the chokehold. I'll take Tyler Lockett right now over Jalen Tolbert. Even though Tyler Lockett is a smaller guy, he'll put Jalen Tolbert in a chokehold because it's do or die for Jalen Tolbert. So we got Brian Schottenheimer, so I know a lot of people are thinking Brian Schottenheimer equals DK Metcalf. Don't rule out Tyler Lockett either. They may be able to get Tyler Lockett on the cheap. KC, yes, sir. What's going on? He said they cooking. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Michael Wright in the crib. What's going on with you? Michael Wright, I've been telling them, man. I've been saying it. Yes, sir. The Cowboys going to be good. They're going to be back competitive. Ice Cold Cowboy, what's going on? We got cap space. Let's go. We're going to get more. They get Micah signed. We're going to get more cap space. And I think they will get Micah signed. It's just a matter of when. And I'll tell you this. I would rather them, again, get him done by Friday. But who knows? I don't know what's going on behind the closed doors. Maybe in good faith. Maybe in good faith. The Cowboys, and Jerry Jones is going to mention some stuff about Micah Parsons' contract. But maybe in good faith. They go in free agency and they do something and then sign Micah Parsons. So we'll see. But we're going to get to this. Let me get the rest of these greetings in. Jen Van Meter, what's going on with you? Good to see you. I'm doing well. Jason Lewis, what's going on? Boy, you already heard me about DK. He the only one I say, hey, man, he the only one that'll change my mind about a wide receiver in free agency. Young Ninja, what's going on? Why should we get excited when Jerry said he doesn't feel free agency is going to be used to fill holes? How can we be excited? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. We're going to listen to it in just a moment. Kevin Howard, my man, what's going on with you? Renan, what's going on? Good to see you. Revelation Journalist, my man, what's going on? Good to see you. JRP 1010, what's going on? He says nothing will happen. Let's hold on a second. Let's see how this plays out, because I got a feeling. I have a feeling on this. We'll see. Curtis Palmer, what's going on? You know what? That's a possibility too. And you said trade back. I got something else for us on this too, on this thing about trading back. I'll talk about before we get off here. I'm going to talk about before we get off of here. We may not realize it, but the Cowboys have done something. I want to make sure I write it down so I don't forget. Do y'all realize the Cowboys has put a chess piece on the board? And we're not going to like it. Some of us already may know what I'm talking about. The Cowboys have put a chess piece on the board. And I'm going to tell you what it is after the Jerry Jones thing. The Cowboys have a chess piece on the board. And none of us are talking about it just yet. I talked about it once. I'm going to talk about it from the other side later on tonight. The Cowboys have a chess piece on the board, y'all. And they're just waiting. And we're going to see if the chess piece stays there. I don't know if the chess piece is going to stay there. But the Cowboys have a chess piece on the board. And I'm going to tell you right now, the chess piece they have on the board may transform the entire draft. We're going to talk about it in a moment. Jason Lewis, again, what's going on? Don't know be the best. What's going on? DK is not taking $15 million. Yeah, he wants $25 million. That's my only problem with DK. It's not really a problem. I understand DK is really that type of wide receiver. DK is going to require some money, and you never know. Maybe you never know what Brian Schottenheimer may say to him, but we'll see. But I don't know. The question is are the Cowboys willing to pay him? Are they willing to pay him? We'll see, but we'll talk about it in a moment. My man D Block, what's going on? Man, D Block, if we get this man for 3 years, $15 million, it would be crazy, man. It would be crazy. But you know what they could do? They could put crazy incentives in that contract. Crazy incentives. Big Dal, what's going on? Man, don't say it, Big Dal, but yeah, he that type of receiver. He going to have a market. He is going to have a market, and he will be able to garner Seattle some major will be able to garner Seattle some major draft capital if they can get him traded. Chris Newman, what's going on? Chris Newman, hold on a second. I got something for you on this chess piece. We're going to talk about it in just a moment. I just want to get a few more of you guys in, and we're going to get to Jerry, and then we're going to get to that chess piece. Monique, what's going on? Crush, what's going on? What first round? The kid from Texas. You know what? If Ted is there, I like the fact that Ted is big. It's just bottom line. He's a big body wide receiver. I think he'd be great for Dak Prescott. I've already mentioned Emeka Ibuka, but you know what? I will not be surprised if somebody wound up taking that kid from Texas. His name was, I was just talking, I did a video on him the other day. What is his name? Matthew Golden. I think Matthew Golden right now, they got Matthew Golden ranked as the number 2 wide receiver in the draft. I think Michael Golden right now, after the combine, Michael Golden right now is officially the number 1 ranked wide receiver in the draft. And I will not be surprised if Michael Golden, not Ted McMillan, I will not be surprised if Michael Golden is actually the first wide receiver off the board. I will not be surprised. Yeah, Michael James for sure. I think that could be a connection. Azteca, what's going on? There are so many great free agents in 2025. Azteca, the Cowboys don't have no excuse. They don't have no excuse. Jerry needs to make a move ASAP. I'm with you. Edward White, what's going on? He said not giving up more than a 5th round for Metcalf or not interested. Woo! Yeah, you got to give up more than that for Metcalf. That's the issue. Appreciate you. Dove Polk, appreciate you. He said love your channel. I appreciate you. Yes, sir. We're going to get to this Jerry thing, man. Let me just get a few more of y'all in. I'm sorry. Daniel Lynn, my man, what's going on? Good to see you. He said, I'm glad the Cowboys are doing things differently. I've been saying it, but, brother, we going to move differently. This was the first time the Jones boys spoke since the Senior Bowl. Yeah, Jerry spoke, and he's speaking like he ain't never been gone. he's speaking like he ain't never been gone, but we're going to decipher some things that he's saying. Keith said it's going to take at least 3 off seasons for y'all to get a dominant defense. I think it'll take 2 seasons. This one next year, 2026. Keith, we're going to be serious. Watch what I tell you. Mark my words. You'll call me a prophet before it's over. Gary McKnight, what's going on? From listening to Jerry and Stevens' interviews, I have a feeling that we are overestimating the level of talent on this team like we did last season. Having said that, I'm all in on DK Metcalf. Okay, Gary, watch this. We're going to listen to this interview, and then I'm gonna tell you some things that I think is going on right here. Hassani, my man, what's going on? Boy, you know what? Some people have been talking about Hollywood Brown. I've heard Hollywood Brown's name being brought up. Junebug, what's going on? MP needs to stay. We talking about Michael Parsons? Let me see here. Let me get a couple of more in. Leandrew Sims, what's going on? Gregory Davis in the crib, what's going on? Gregory said he don't want a 32-year-old wide receiver. He'd have to be dirt cheap. I agree with you on that part. All right, Philip Thomas, let me see. Let me get some more in here. My man is in here. Danny, Lakers Nation in the house. What's going on? DK Metcalf covered the Cowboys. Hey, man, speaking into existence, I'd love for it to happen. Believe me. Malachi Knight, give me a Jones and Devontae Adams. You know what? Devontae Adams could be more of a possibility, but you know what? I have a strange feeling. Devontae Adams is probably going to go to a team that if he's going to take a discount, because if I'm Devontae Adams, this is what I would do. If I'm taking a discount, I'm only taking a discount to a team that I believe is just undeniably going to the Super Bowl. For me, it'd be Kansas City. If I'm Devontae Adams, I would sign with the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, Devontae Adams is getting to the point that he's starting to kind of taper off. If he want a chip, he better get on the team that can get him a chip. It's the bottom line. Robert Simmons, what's going on? All right, I'm gonna get on here and I'll see if I can get to some more of you guys here towards the end. Roger, appreciate that super chat. $4.99 super chat. He said, not Jerry with an ace up his sleeve. What is this chess piece you speak of? Gee, I'm about to hit y'all with the chess piece. I'm going to hit y'all with the chess piece after we listen to this. Minister Reggie Smith, what's going on? Kicking Barbecue, DC4L. Good afternoon, sir. Now, do you do barbecue for real? You got like a barbecue shop or something? Good to see you up in here. Chris Pewitt. Chris Pewitt, I do. Jerry could not stay out of the way. Jerry's a loser, so is his son. Watch this, though. Let's listen to Jerry, because I'm going to tell you something. You have to decipher Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is similar to the people who spoke in tongues in the Bible. Jerry Jones needs an interpreter. Trust me. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, Jerry Jones needs an interpreter. Let's listen to Jerry Jones. I haven't heard it yet, but I've heard some things. I've already seen some people talking about it online. But we're still going to decipher through, because I think some people are getting the wrong understanding about what Jerry is saying. All right, guys, let's get into it. We're going to listen to Jerry Jones, and then we'll kind of go in between his answers. It's only 11 minutes, so we'll go in between his answers. Let's get it going. Let's roll it.
In free agency and retaining more of your own free agents be a little different this year than what we saw last year?
Well, I think the nature of it is because we already have, it's a part of really last year's plan. And that is when we made the big commitment to Dak, then what we had to do was think ahead and from within of how to build around the commitment. Again, to emphasize, this is not a year to rebuild at all. Last year wasn't a year to rebuild. But when we made our big commitment to Dak, then the areas that we're in, we had to depend on retaining our top homegrown guys. And if you notice the area we're dwelling in, of course, this also was interior defensive line. We think Smith will come on and be what we want him to be. And of course, we may be there with a top pick early, and just according to see how it falls. But the bottom line is, this is a continuation of the plan. Now, as opportunity would come up from without that, not the draft, not from within, as opportunity comes up, we'll weigh it. And last year we would have waited, but we'll look and see the opportunity to improve on the plan that basically both defense and offense is to complement what we're wanting to do with a Dak-led team.
The plan.
Okay, let's drop a bomb right here. Y'all notice something all of a sudden? What was I saying last year? The Cowboys have a plan. Was I not saying the Cowboys have a plan and people didn't like it? I said the Cowboys have a plan. The problem is people don't like the plan. Now, Jerry wasn't using this language at first. Have you noticed the language that he's using now? The plan. He had a plan from the beginning. I told y'all. Last year was a part of the plan. I called it, anybody remember what I called it? Planned demolition. A planned demolition. Jerry is saying that they didn't blow up the team. But they did kind of blow up the team. They blew up the parts that they didn't want. They kind of blew up the team. What they let go of in 2023 after the 2023 season? They let go of 9 free agents, maybe 11? Then they said they're all in. Yeah, on the young guys, Dak Prescott, in the State of the Union address he does yearly, if we really pay attention, Dak Prescott gives the Dallas Cowboys State of the Union address every year before the season begins. We may not realize it, but that's what Dak Prescott is doing with Troy Aikman. He's giving us the State of the Union address about the Dallas Cowboys. And when Troy Aikman said, Dak, you have any idea what Jerry Jones means about all in? Dak said, I don't know what he meant, and then commenced to telling us exactly what they did. Dak Prescott said, I think that Jerry is saying that we're going all in on our young guys who were behind other guys who could not start. Now we're going to get to see what those guys are. The Jalen Tolberts, the Jalen Brooks, some of these other guys that were behind people on this team. They got the opportunity. We saw what happened at cornerback. I mean, we were just all over the place. And then the injuries really got us, once we started getting injured, we really started seeing a lot of these guys come in. But in the grand scheme of things, the plan was we're going to let go of the veterans, most of the veterans, and we're going to see what do we have in the young guys? And we're not concerned about winning the Super Bowl. We just want to be competitive. They didn't figure in injury, and injury dragged them way down. But the Cowboys were already done with Mike McCarthy. Stephen Jones kind of let that cat out of the bag. They were done with Mike McCarthy. Cowboys were furious after that loss. And became even more furious this year, I guarantee you, watching Dan Quinn and one Kellen Moore not only get to the NFC Championship game, but then one of them win the Super Bowl. but they already had a plan. The plan was 2025. The plan was 2025. And I don't think they ever planned to go on with Mike McCarthy. And the reason why I'm saying that is that you don't give a coach who you want to keep an offer he can refuse. When you want to keep a coach, you give him an offer he can't refuse. You don't walk into a meeting giving him stipulations on you can't. You walk into the meeting saying you can, and this is what we're going to do. That's not what they did. It's crazy to me. I mean, James Slater was reporting this stuff about Jason Witten, and that was one of the things that Mike didn't want to do, and blah, blah, blah. I told y'all before, I would love to know the rest of the stuff that came out about this Mike. I mean, we're never going to hear it, even though Bobby Built let a whole lot of cats out of the bag. But I'm just telling you, the Cowboys were done with Mike McCarthy. And the plan was not to necessarily rebuild. I call it recalibrating. Cowboys are recalibrating. This is what they're doing. They got a whole brand new coaching staff. Brian Schottenheimer leading the charge, changing the culture. They're bringing back the pieces that they want. And now they're going to fill in the rest of those pieces as it applies to defense. But again, Jerry is all of a sudden using language that we hadn't heard before. Now he's saying it was a part of the plan. Really? Because we never heard you talking about the plan before. But the plan. They have a plan on what they're trying to do. And do you notice what he keeps saying? People can tell me anything they want to. Jerry Jones is all in on Dak Prescott. And I can't believe it. Jerry has been one of the reasons that people have taken shots to me at Jerry Jones in the past. But Jerry is saying something. Jerry has been saying this for the last couple of months, and people don't even realize it. Jerry's all in on Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones is thinking like I'm thinking. You got to cash in on Dak Prescott. You don't have a guy that you give $231 million to guaranteed and you don't cash in on it. You got to cash in on it. You pushed all your chips in the middle of the table when you gave Dak Prescott $231 million guaranteed. Do you notice what he keeps saying? A Dak-led team. A Dak-led team. Now, Jerry Jones. Now we got to impress upon and pray that Jerry Jones do what he did for Troy Aikman. To a Troy Aikman team. You know what he did for Troy Aikman? Folk might not realize it. What was Troy Aikman his first season? 1-15. Troy Aikman turning the ball over tremendously. What did he do? O-line, running back, defense. Already had Michael Irvin. So he got him Michael Irvin, running back, O-line, defense. That's what he did for Troy Aikman. Folk do not understand what Troy Aikman looked like before Jimmy, after Jimmy. They don't understand. And I should say before the Herschel Walker trade and after Jimmy and after players started kind of dissipating, they went and put everything around Troy Aikman. They brought in Norv Turner to settle Troy Aikman down. A lot of folk don't remember this stuff. I'm old enough to remember it. The purpose of bringing in Norv Turner was to make Troy Aikman successful. Okay, we got the right quarterback. How do we make him successful? Wide receiver, run game, offensive line. And I'm telling you, if Jake Ferguson don't get it going this year, you need to start looking at tight end. Tight end, because we've always had a good tight end. Number one defense on the other side of him, putting players on that team like Charles Haley. They turned that whole team around. You notice what he keeps saying? A Dak-led team. He's all in on Dak Prescott. I've never seen him like this, but he's all in on Dak Prescott. And understand what he says. I think what Jerry is trying to tell us, this is another way of the Cowboys saying selectively aggressive. Just understand what he's telling us. As opportunity arises. They're not looking to make just a splash in free agency. They want to make sure that whoever they bring in, immediate impact. Because that's really what you want free agency for. You're not trying to go into free agency saying, well, I want to get a guy we're going to develop over the next 3 seasons. No, that's not what free agency is for. That's what the draft is for. Free agency says, no, this guy right here, whoever we bring in, he better be impactful right now, and he better help us win now, not later. Now, not later. So that's why he's talking about as the opportunity arises. Let's keep going.
Does that include being more aggressive, I guess, early on in free agency than past years?
I don't think aggressive is the right word. I think when we see a player that can take us in a direction that can improve where we're going to be pretty significantly from where we're going to be if that opportunity wasn't there, for that, whether it be the talent of that individual player or whether it be addressing any perceived places we need help. I wouldn't call us really void in any area, void if you include what we're going to do in the draft. I wouldn't see that. So as your question is addressing free agency, I'm not looking at free agency as a place to fill voids.
I am telling you exactly what he's saying before he even said it. I haven't listened to this interview. I just know the direction they're going. What Jerry is saying, and I do not understand why people are kind of up in arms about this, it makes sense. Did I not say they're not trying to make a splash? They're looking for a player that comes in and makes an immediate impact. That's what free agency is for. It's what, see, let's just put it like this. Let's just say the Cowboys want a cornerback. And we've talked about Kavarius Ward, guys like that. Kavarius Ward would be a good piece to have. But the reality is, the way Jerry is looking at it, we could go in the draft and get a cornerback. We can go in the draft and get a cornerback. Well, can't they? The Cowboys could literally say, we're not actually going running back in the first round. We're going to get cornerback in the first round. They can. They can get a cornerback in the first round. They can. That's not what you go to free agency for. At least when you think about how Jerry Jones, especially in the 90s, how he used free agency. Jerry didn't use free agency to improve or just to fill a position. Jerry used free agency to move the needle. Jerry didn't get Charles Haley because he needed an edge rusher. He got Charles Haley to win a Super Bowl. That's what free agency is for. When the Eagles went and got Saquon Barkley, did we not realize they had already went to the Super Bowl 2 years before that? And lost, what, 35-38? No. This time they said, we're not getting a player that's going to help us go only get back to the Super Bowl. We're going to get us a player that's going to help us win the Super Bowl because he's going to move the needle. Free agency is about difference makers. You look at someone and says, does he take us to the next level? This is all Jerry is saying. This is all he's saying. And what he's saying about the draft, whether people like it or not, is exactly right. Okay, so we're going in the draft. That's where you're actually building your team because you're going to get that cornerback and you're going to say, okay, you're going to be on a 4-year deal. That's building the team. You're on a 4-year deal. You're a part of the long-term plan. We got you on a 4-year deal, and we're hoping you're going to play at such a level that we're going to sign you to an extension. So, in essence, we're looking at you as maybe an 8-year player. Just like right now, the Cowboys, they already have in their minds, y'all. Understand this. The Cowboys know that this draft is rich with wide receivers. And I think they have every plan on going in here, getting one, and if not one, maybe even two on the backside in the 5th or the 6th. The Cowboys understand they need a complimentary wide receiver to CeeDee Lamb. And I'm telling you, short of DK Metcalf, I think we'll be hard-pressed to see them do anything else. I'll be shocked if they do anything else because I think they're weighing value as in, okay, short of DK Metcalf, Devontae Adams. What wide receiver is out there that we would rather have over Ted McMillan, Emeka Egbuka, or the kid from Texas? What wide receiver in free agency would we rather have over them? Because for me, I can only think of a handful. And they're probably out of the range. DK Metcalf is probably out of the range. We would love to have DK Metcalf, but as much as we would love to have DK Metcalf, a lot of you have already hit the nail on the head. Understand, you're going to pay the piper for him. You're going to pay the piper. I mean, unless somebody convince him to come in for some ludicrous deal, like I mentioned before, 3 years, $45 million, when there's probably some team that's willing to give Seattle who knows what and tell DK Metcalf, we'll give you 3 years, $75 million. We'll give you a 4-year, $100 million deal, a $75 million guaranteed. Put the escape hatch at 3 years. He's a $25 million a year receiver for 3 years. You get out after 3. He's going to be a handful to sign. But he's a needle mover. And then you got Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, y'all, he's in a predicament. I don't think Devontae Adams is only going to be going after the money. Devontae Adams is going to be going after the money and the chip. He's an older wide receiver. And when you're at his age, with his skill set, the next team you go to, you say, no, I'm going to win. I went for the money and it didn't work. I'm going to win. I'll take some money, but I got to win. So when you think about Super Bowl teams, we know he's not going to Philly. We know he's not going to a Washington. We know he's not going to a Detroit. Devontae Adams probably needs to be looking at a Baltimore, a Buffalo, a Kansas City. And if he could talk to somebody, because the Cowboys are going to be competitive whether anybody accepts it or not. The Cowboys are going to be ultra competitive. But in order for him to sign a deal with the Cowboys, he's got to say, I'm going to sign a 3-year deal with the Cowboys. Because we make the ferocious run in 2026. We get back competitive in 2025. Is he willing to wait on that? So short of those 2 wide receivers, who just comes in and you say, hey, this guy immediately makes us better? I don't know if that's Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's a good wide. I mean, when he's healthy. But man, when you start having health issues late in your career and you're a wide receiver and their leg issues, I mean, unless you're talking about coming in nickels on the dollar, I can't give you double digits. I can't deal with Cooper Kupp in double digits. I'm not even talking 10. I can't even deal with Cooper Kupp at $9 and $8 million. No, Cooper Kupp got to be coming up in here with a serious discount. And I think with Cooper Kupp, $7 million is even going to be a risk. What wide receivers move the needle for you to say, would we rather have 4 years of Ted McMillan with a high ceiling, getting better year after year after year, and we got him on a really good manageable contract? Emeka Egbuka on a very good and manageable contract. Kid from Texas on a very good and manageable contract. And there's a couple of others on very good and manageable contracts. Or do we want to deal with these contracts paying double digits? This is what Jerry's talking about. Free agency has to be a needle mover. That's how I think about it. I don't look at free agency as a way to, man, we got holes on the team, we got to fill them. No. Free agency to me is where I say, no, I got to get a piece that's going to say Super Bowl. I got to get a piece that says Super Bowl. I got to get a piece that says this takes me to the playoffs and a playoff win. This is what Jerry's talking about. I'm telling you, I don't understand why people are up in arms about this. The Cowboys are not going into free agency because anybody who understands what the word selective means. Selective means what it says. Selective. Okay. We're going to be very careful of who we select. That's why Jerry is correcting them, saying, I wouldn't call it aggressive. I wouldn't probably call it aggressive either. Aggressive to me is when you go in this thing saying, man, we about to get 2 or 3 guys, we about to blow the roof off this thing. I mean, we playing on the first day. First day of free agency. We playing. We swinging for we're swinging for the fences. Myles Garrett, DK Metcalf. I mean, we're swinging for the fences. There's another kid that people have been talking about. Y'all throw his name in the chat, but he's been mentioned. I think we were talking about him last night. Is it the Milton kid from Philadelphia? I mean, to me, you're being aggressive when you go out and say, we're going to go out and also get him at defensive tackle. I mean, Josh Sweat. I mean, when you're talking about we're going to bring in those 2 guys, Hassan Reddick, that's being aggressive. That's being ultra aggressive. That's saying, man, we about to knock this thing out the box. I don't think Cowboys are going to do that. I think they're going to be very strategic in how they're moving. They're going to be very strategic. Let me hear a couple of more answers and questions from Jerry, and we'll go to the comments.
You don't have any voids.
Not if you include what might work for us in the draft and what we're doing with our own roster relative to who we want to sign.
Again, Jerry is saying to Clarence Hill, hey, some people are taking this negative again. Ooh, Jerry is saying the team don't have any voids. The team is exactly where it needs to be. It's not what Jerry is saying. Jerry is saying they have a plan. And I told y'all this, and some people are not hearing me. The Cowboys have already pinpointed who they want in free agency. They've already pinpointed them. They're just not going to say anything. They've already pinpointed them. They know exactly who they want. They already know who's available. They're waiting on some other. They're waiting on the other shoe to drop. They're going to see who's going to be cut. They're just waiting, but they already know who they want. I guarantee you, they already know who they want. And just like what Jerry is saying right here, they already know who they want in free agency. I mean, in the draft, they already know who they want. There's no doubts in their minds. Their board is ready to go. They know exactly who they want on that board. They know where they're going first. They know where they're going second. They know where they're going third. And they're waiting to see if some other shoes drop and they're looking, and I guarantee you, they've also looked at this board saying, and if this team doesn't get this player and this team doesn't get this player, then we're going to do this, or this. Because I'm telling you, anything changes in the top 12, there's a ripple effect. If somebody goes and gets somebody that nobody expects, now there's a player that maybe some people said, okay, wait, if this guy comes available, this changes up our pieces. So now we got to move it around because now we're going to get this guy. I'm telling you, we'll see if the rumors are true. They're saying stuff like Shedeur Sanders. They're saying Shedeur Sanders is going to drop in the draft. And I'm telling you, everybody, oh, the Cowboys go get No, they're not getting Shedeur. Cowboys are not getting Shedeur Sanders. They made that decision when they signed Dak Prescott. They're not getting Shedeur Sanders. I will not be surprised if the New Orleans Saints get Shedeur Sanders if he was to fall that far. Kellen Moore and the Saints will probably get Shedeur Sanders. But again, the player that they wanted, ripple effect. Somebody says if that player is good enough, somebody might call the Cowboys and say, hey, trade back. We want that player. Cowboys pick up some more draft picks. I'm telling you guys, they know exactly where they're going. They do.
What if you don't believe that you have a lot of holes? Is that?
Well, but you've got to project out, but everybody has to. We've got to do some speculation about what we'll do in the draft. And we've got to have some, all of those things. We've got to have some good news on the rehab front, and we're getting it. And so obviously we've got a lot of guys that didn't finish up the year that we will and need to count on to start next year. You weigh all of that where we think we can go. Now, you know, you have to have depth because you got to if ever there was a lesson, not a lesson, but a obvious fact of being in the NFL was last year on what you do when you have injury. And of course we had, last year we signed our at last year's availability, we signed our top 2 guys last year, and Dak and Lamb, and didn't play, neither one of those guys were on the field when we finished up. And so the point is, we all understand everybody plays with injury, but within that, with what we can do, which we were planning on where we were going to be, frankly, under the cap this time last year. No surprises here. No surprising is where the cap is this year as to what's been announced.
Now, notice, they're trying to nail Jerry down because they're trying to say Jerry is crazy. Jerry isn't crazy, y'all. Calm down. Jerry isn't crazy. Jerry is just telling us football things. And some of us aren't understanding football language. I've said some of this stuff in the season. People do not understand what goes into signing a player. And I use Dak Prescott as an example. If I'm going to sign Dak Prescott, I lay this all out on a board. Okay, Dak Prescott. What are we like with him? What are we out without him? Who's coming up in this year's draft that we feel that if we don't sign Dak could be better than Dak? Or could get us to where we want to go quickly without us doing a rebuild? What quarterback will be available in free agency? Are there any backup quarterbacks on anybody's team that maybe could come in and be a starter and do what we want to do cheaper than Dak? You're weighing out all those costs. You weigh out all of that. And then you say, so in the grand scheme of things, do we keep him or do we go in all these other areas? And the Cowboys, when they looked at all those areas, they saw one thing that stood out. Okay, there's one chance we could take. It'll cost us a 4th-round draft pick, but it won't cost us a tremendous amount of money to take the chance. They took it on Trey Lance. It failed. And I'm looking at it as, even though it was only $5 million, I'm looking at it as, but we could have had Derrick Henry. For the price of Ezekiel Elliott and Trey Lance and a little bit more change from the couch, we could have had Derrick Henry. Now, I know that Michael and Jerry saying he wouldn't have made a difference. I don't believe it. They can't convince me that he wouldn't have made a difference. They just can't convince me. Because if Rico Dowdle made a difference, I know Derrick Henry going to make a difference. He'd have made a difference. But I'm just saying, Jerry is just saying in a very simplistic way, no, guys, we already have a plan. We have all of our positions filled. And not filled right now. But we've re-signed our own, so we got our defensive line to where we want it right now. We're going to see what we do with D-Law. But we're kind of penciling in. What do we have on our field right now? And I'm hoping they're going to cut the safeties and keep Marquise Bell, and I think it's Carson or the other kid. But they're just penciling in. Okay, what do we have? They're looking at the draft and saying, we can fill in here, we can fill in here, we can fill in here, and it's going to fill the entire board for us. Y'all don't forget the UDFAs. I'm always interested in the undrafted free agents. So I'm sure the Cowboys have some of those mapped out too. Guys who they think who might not get drafted. He's just saying, he's not saying we don't need help. He is saying we're not going in the draft to just get pieces to put in places or fill holes. No, he's saying, no, we're going to free agency. Whatever piece we get, it's got to make an impact. It's got to make an impact. That person has got to make us better than what we are we got to be better with that person. They just can't be a filler. No, they got to come in and say, we're not just a filler. We're coming in to move furniture around. That's what they're saying. Listen to one more question, then we'll get to some comments.
His
preference for getting his deal done early enough to help build the team around him in a better way? And apparently you've begun dialogue in that regard. Where do things stand with?
Well, again, those are good, let's say they're good earmarks. And they're all there. We know what's involved. What really counts is when you get down into it, how you can effectively get the terms to where those things are available to you once you've done the deal. Yes, we want a deal that would allow you to have room to, usually these contracts that you make with players give you more room. And that's good. I don't believe that in any way that not signing Dak, for instance, or not signing Lamb hurt us in any way last year on what we did in free agency. I know that's been implied, but it didn't at all, because we had available dollars or could make available dollars to have done what we wanted to do. The point is that apart from having a 7-win season, which is a disruptor, and really one that should cause you to get on the edge of your seat and cause you to rethink of any areas that need your attention. Apart from that, what we're doing now is, from my perspective, I was planning on doing a year ago and getting set up so that we could do it a year ago. And when we didn't do some of the things that obviously we got, let's say, criticized for, when we didn't do it, didn't do it for some of the reasons we're doing right now. We were planning on keeping us all along.
Now, Jerry finally admits it. Now, for every person that has said the reason why the Cowboys have not been doing A, B, C, or D is because of Dak Prescott's contract or CeeDee Lamb's contract, Jerry Jones just spelled it out. Their contracts had nothing to do with us not being able to do anything. Sounds a little bit contrary to what he said in the past, though, doesn't it? But he's now admitting the truth, isn't he? No, in actuality, it had nothing to do. Nothing to do with us not being able to sign people. Nothing to do with that. We could have made this same room last year. We do know this, right? They did Dak and CD's deal last year. They could have done this same stuff last year. They didn't want to do it last year. Jerry is saying there are some things that said, no, we're not going to do it last year. They wanted to do it this year. And now they're doing it. He's finally admitting it. And again, I love what he's saying. They're building around Dak Prescott. Whether anyone accepts it or not, they're building around Dak Prescott. They're building around Dak Prescott. They're doing the exact thing they did for Troy Aikman, and they should have did it long ago. They're insulating him. That's what you do. All quarterbacks need help. We need to stop acting like that when we say Dak Prescott needs help. They all need help. They all need help. I don't know a one of them that don't need help. They all need help. Someone says, well, some need less help than others. Okay, show me. Show me other than Patrick Mahomes. Show me. Show me the other quarterback that has won without a top 10 defense. Show me, because you can't. Patrick Mahomes is the only one that has done it. Everyone else has not been able to do it. They all, including Josh Allen, including Lamar Jackson, including you put Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow proved. I don't care how many offensive weapons he has. Joe Burrow needs help. You know how I know? Because he didn't even make the playoffs this year. Why not? Because he didn't have enough help. They all need help. I just don't understand why we keep talking like this is exclusive. It's not exclusive to Dak Prescott. They all need help. And you show me the quarterbacks who got further than Dak Prescott, Prescott, I'll keep showing you the quarterbacks that continue to have more help than Dak Prescott. And one of the places, and no one wants to admit, where a lot of these teams have been better than us, ownership, GM, coaching. We don't think those matter, but they do. They have always mattered. And the way the Cowboys won in the 90s was ownership, GM, coaching. That's where it started. We have gotten full circle in the 30-year anniversary of the last time the Cowboys played in the Super Bowl. We're getting back to coaching, GM. We're getting back to ownership, GM, and coaching. We're getting back to that. They got a coach they believe in, and so they're doing things different. They are. Let me go down and read some comments here. Then I'm going to get back. I want to get the rest of Jerry before I get off here. Let's see here. Let me go down to about right here because I want to get to that chess piece. Roger said he want to know what that chess piece is. My man Robert Wilson, he says, whatever positions we love in the draft, we have to go get the others in free agency. And Jerry is already saying they're going to fill all the positions in the draft. But he's saying something about free agency. That's got to be an impact player. That has to be an impact player. For example, if we go get a linebacker, it's got to be somebody like Hassan Reddick. It's got to be someone like Khalil Mack. It's got to be somebody that we know that's going to come in and make a difference from the linebacking position. We know we have to. Same thing at cornerback. It has to be somebody who's going to come in and make an absolute difference. They have to come in and make a difference. They can't just be a guy that can cover. They got to be a guy that can lock down, a guy who can get us turnovers. Byron, Joe DeVee with that super chat. He said Jared may be BSing about not signing free agents. Let's wait and see. And again, no, Byron, he ain't BSing. He just ain't saying what they want him to say. No, they're going in free agency. You watch what I tell you. They're playing in free agency. There's no doubt about it. I have no doubt in my mind. Everything I've heard Jerry say so far has solidified in my mind. Oh, they're playing in free agency. He's just telling you how they're going to play. We're not going to get anybody just to get somebody. Whoever we get, we feel like they're going to be needle movers. They're going to be needle movers. We're going to go get a player that is going to be able to say that we can look at this player and say, hey, this player right here helped us win a game. Rather than us being 9-8, this player helped us to be 11-6. No, he's talking about he's talking about getting a player in free agency. This is exactly what he's talking about. And this is why I say, if you look at glasses half empty, you're always going to be negative. You got to look at these glasses, whether they be half empty or half full. I'm looking at this glass half full because the way they're moving, nah. They're all saying the same thing. Nope. They're gonna do something in free agency. You watch what I tell you. Daniel, he says you need weapons around your quarterback to be successful. No doubt about it. They're going to try to get needle movers. Casey said the Cowboys have always focused on building a team, but never building around Dak. See, finally they're doing both. Finally, we're doing both. Edward White said the Saints game summed up last year on how bad this team is. Case closed. And they're going to make some improvements from that. You watch what I tell you. I see good things under Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones seems to be trying to prove. I think they're all trying to prove that Stephen Jones is going to be a good successor. Gregory Davis said it sounds like the Cowboys are going to acquire some weapons in free agency. Exactly. Via traded and through the draft. They have a plan. The Cowboys have already targeted their players. I'm telling you, they already have. They've already targeted them. Stephen would hire Will McClay as GM, and he stays the CEO of the organization. He doesn't want the spotlight, unlike his dad. I do believe that I don't think Stephen likes the spotlight like Jerry does. Monique says his timetable is a problem, though. After the draft, you have less talented older people. You watch what I tell you. No, they're going to play in the first. They're going to play. It won't be day 1. It'll be day 2 and 3, I believe. No cap. Long time no see. He says, what's up, guys? If Jerry don't go and get DK or Adams, it will be a letdown. They got the money. Go build a contender. I think the DK may be a little bit too rich. We'll see what they do with Devontae Adams. But, hey, you know what? DK Metcalf is the kind of pick I think DK Metcalf would be the kind of deal for the Cowboys that would literally send the entire fan base would go crazy. I think the NFL would go crazy if the Cowboys got DK Metcalf. Daniel M says they could not fill out the needs in the draft class with 10 picks. All right, guys, hold on a second. I got somebody at the door. Hold on. Y'all hold on just a second. All right, but again, I think they know exactly what they're going to do. They know what the plan is. It's just going to be a matter is if those players are there. All right, let me get this last comment in from my girl Nisi. Free agency will let us know if they will allow Shotty to shop. I love it. She said free agency will let us know if they will allow Shotty to shop at Saks or Target. Hey, let me tell you something. If the Cowboys pull off DK Metcalf, it got Brian Schottenheimer written all over it. If they pull off DK Metcalf, it's Brian Schottenheimer written all over it. I believe it 100%. It's Brian Schottenheimer written all over it. Jerry blowing smoke. Louise, I'm telling you. And I don't really think he's blowing smoke. I just think Jerry needs an interpreter. And from everything what Jerry is saying, sounds exactly like what Steven said. Selectively aggressive. Dallas Sports 1977, what's going on? He said, hello, America's team. What player should we pick first? Cornerback or running back or linebackers? D-tackle on defense to get us to a Super Bowl champions. I think they're going to go wide receiver, but I will not be surprised if they went defense first. But I think they need to go wide receiver. But it all depends, too, on what their target or do they get somebody in free agency. But again, I don't see anybody unless we get somebody that's going to really move that needle. I don't see the Cowboys. Going away from offense first in the first 2 rounds. All right, let's get through this Jerry thing, and then I'm going to drop this chess piece on us before I get out of here around 5:30-ish.
I know you're not on the clock, but would you like to get Micah done early just to get it out the way so he can be involved with the offseason program? You got a new coaching staff. Is there any plan to try to get him done early?
I don't have a like, and I know what you're trying to say, but I don't look at it that way. But that's like looking at amounts. That's like looking at years. When you do it, what counts is when you're out there for that kickoff and any preparation time. All of those things count. And to the end that you have to miss preparation time on any of these issues, not Micah's, but on any of them. When you miss preparation time, that's a factor. But that's a part of it. That is what the representation. Those are a part of his cards. To talk about time and being available for time, and that's a part of the cards that are used in terms of, well, going ahead now. Usually now, and when you don't do now, is because of either the amount or the term, to be trite. And so that is a process that does get narrow as you go along. We criticize because we wait to the end to basically what you would call the end, and that is lining up for the first game. It just happens that way. I've been one of the earliest out on several contracts in my 35 years.
What about adding something through a trade? What possibility would that be?
Right about draft time, picks get very premium right now. and the trades relative to draft picks for a player, this is possibly you might call it a good time, because the round picks to be able to use it this year can come at a premium. Now, you've got to have your bait out everywhere, and we do. But those.
Did y'all heard he said? You got to have your bait out. I'm telling you, the Cowboys got the bait out on this one player. And I'm going to give you the chess piece before we get out of here. But I'm telling you, they have the bait out on one player. And the previous Micah Parsons question, please, guys, don't listen to the media. Do not panic about Micah Parsons. I find it hard to believe they're not going to sign Micah Parsons. There could be something to be said. Y'all remember when Micah said he would take less money and all of those things. You know, we'll see if any of those things come into effect in all of this, but just calm down. Micah Parsons, don't get alarmed. Micah Parsons is going to get signed by the Cowboys, I believe.
Those come to you, and they don't necessarily come to you because you've got a perfect fit back over here at a position, or you've got somebody in mind. Usually don't count on that somebody in that perfect fit knocking on your door saying we want to give him away. That doesn't come. If you've got to go get it, get ready. You're going to pay a premium for it. They just think tariffs might add to things. Wait till you try to go over and get a player when it's you calling rather than them calling you.
Now, you heard what he just said, didn't you? Now, this is easy to decipher. Jerry is saying something. I've been talking about the autumn negotiation. The one who comes knocking first is the one who has to give up something to get what they want. Or the one who knocks and says, we want what you have. In either way, Jerry is saying something. We want to have some leverage. Because if we start going out seeking things, then we got to give up leverage. So we have things also out there dangling. We have bait out there because we want some people to come to us and say, what will it take for this or what will it take for that? Now, somebody says, what is that piece? Let's hear the last of this interview, and then I'm going to let you know before I get out of here.
Jerry Dak said recently that he feels you guys are close to the Eagles in terms of talent necessary to win a championship. Do you agree with that?
I will tell you, this time last year, I thought we'd win the division. This time last year, I thought we'd win the division. I'd lost a lot of money if, in fact, you can do what we can't do in the NFL, and that's bet on it. Why? Because we'd had a good run of it over the years. I didn't plan on some of the things that happened for us last year or that didn't happen. And so we're operating with a mentality of very competitive with our division, not just the Eagles, but with the division. Eagles are a prime one to talk to because they are the world champ. And you look good when you're the world champ, as it should be. But we'll see how it goes. It's not smart to say that we're as good or better than the Eagles right now because they happen to be the world champs. So I'm not going to be dumb there.
We got time for one more.
Obviously, picking 12, you don't want to be up here next year. You know, it's the premium pick. What's your plans or goals for that 12th pick?
Well, we've got a lot of options. The combine actually, I think, emphasized that. There's key players deep.
What is this? What does he mean here, Ashton Jeanty? Y'all do know that the running back show at the combine made the Cowboys really realize that they're not drunk on Ashton Jeanty either. That the Cowboys realize they'll be fine, and I've been saying this all along. The Cowboys will be fine without Ashton Jeanty. I know people are saying Ashton Jeanty this and Ashton Jeanty that. Man, there are some show-enough running backs in this draft. There are some show-enough running backs, and I'm telling you, Amarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, amongst others. Man, there are some running backs that are going to be available, not only in the first, the second, and the third. Man, these running backs will be available all the way to the fifth and the sixth, and they're going to be some great running backs in this league. We are literally watching the running back renaissance. We are watching the running back renaissance, courtesy of Saquon Barkley. And Saquon Barkley had already made this his goal before they even went to the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley was saying that he wanted to bring the relevance and the value back to the running back position. And doggone it, he did it because he ran the Philadelphia Eagles all the way to the doggone Super Bowl and won it. And when you run 27 for 57, people don't understand something, boy. That is staying with the assignment. And when you run 27 times and only get 57 yards, I promise you, even if you didn't get 150 or 200 yards, you still dominated that game. Because you still made Kansas City commit to stopping your potent run game, and you took away a part of their defense. I'm telling you, we're watching the running back renaissance. And the Cowboys have realized that combine, watching those guys, the Cowboys said, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right if we don't get Ashton Jeanty is what he's saying.
At key areas of the team, running back, defensive line, outside the pressure players. Frankly, this is a good time to have where we are. We're about right. All right. I'm not so sure that I'd want to be any higher, and I think that you're going to get a premium player at this position.
We're going to get back to Zach.
Okay, now, thank you guys. Thank you all.
Jerry said, we're going to get premium at this position. I mean, at this particular place in the draft. I love it. I don't understand. I didn't hear anything that I didn't like in that interview. I didn't hear anything I didn't like. I didn't hear anything I didn't know. Sound good to me? I mean, Jerry sounds like everything we've heard. They're just going with the plan. Now, before I get out of here, let me give y'all the chess piece that's dangling out there on the board. Deezy said, "Are the leaves falling?" Luke Branch, what's going on? Not sounding like he's looking for big free agents. He's looking for backups. Nah, that's not what it sounds like. No, he said it earlier. You don't feel in the free agency. He said it clearly. You go into free agency to get a player, Lou, that's going to move the needle. You get an impact player. You're not going in there just to get somebody. You go in there and you get a needle mover. And I think they're going to get a name. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you. I'll be shocked if they don't. No, they're going to get a player, and I think they're going to get a couple of players in this free agency. Poobie D said once we sign Michael, we can have $75 million in cap space. They got to get him signed. And I hope they get him signed by Friday. Don't know be the best. And exactly, I just want at least league average starters. They're gonna do better than that. You watch what I tell you. They're going to do better than that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Jerry has an ace up his sleeve. Jerry has an ace up his sleeve. My man Chanel, what is going on? He said, I looked at the 3 and 4 letter idiot state that Dak should go to Lamar. Oh, Derek, DK Metcalf should go to Lamar. So give Lamar more weapons because he only is 3-5 in the playoffs. And what I say, do the same for Dak and see what will happen. Man, let me tell you something. Dak gonna do damage with DK Metcalf if they get DK Metcalf. But I'll tell you this, Chanel. I don't know if Baltimore is gonna go and put that kind of capital into getting that much help for Lamar Jackson. We'll see, but I don't think they will. Dallas Sports 1977 says, every time we win Lombardi trophies, we've had a great run attack. 71, Dwayne Thomas. 77, Calvin Hill. 77, Dwayne Thomas. Calvin Hill. 77, Tony Dorsett. Robert Newhouse. Yes, sir. 90s, Emmett. And don't forget Darryl Johnston. That boy Darryl Johnston was a big part of that run game, Dallas Sports. Yes, sir. Georgie George, what's going on? Hey, I'm confident the Cowboys are going to do damage in free agency. Don't look for them to be day one stuff. Don't look for that. But the Cowboys are going to make a splash. But I really think where the Cowboys are really trying to get it in, the Cowboys are really trying to get it in the draft. But I think free agency is going to be for their defense and making some big. They're going to try to get a player that moves the needle. Malachi Knight says, I see your logic. They signed core offensive players last year. This year they're going to sign core defensive players, chess moves. Yeah, they're trying to build a team. They're finally trying to build a team. And I'm telling you, they're not just going to go in the draft and get anything. They're not. And I guarantee you they're looking at this. I guarantee you they're looking at the DK Metcalf thing because we have Brian Schottenheimer in the building. And I am sure, I would, if I was a fly on the wall, I bet you there's somewhere where Brian Schottenheimer is already talking to Jerry and Steven, like, can we do it? Can we do it? That's all you got to ask. Can we do it? Now, let me give you the chess piece. There is an absolute chess piece dangling out there. And we're going to see if the Cowboys follow through on it. Maybe they won't follow through on it and it won't be dangling out there. But let me tell y'all something. Cavante Turpin is going to bust this draft wide open for the Dallas Cowboys if somebody decides to pick him up. Cavante Turpin is going to bust this draft wide open, y'all. We're talking about the Cowboys don't have a fourth-round draft pick. Entertain this. I don't want to get you too excited because it may not happen, but I want you to understand the possibility of this happening, I believe, is greater than 50%. If the Cowboys put Cavante Turpin out there March the 12th, second-round tender, 5.24 or either 5.42, can't remember which one it is exactly, basically $5 million. You're going to put Cavante Turpin out there at a second-round tender. Cavante Turpin is a chess piece. Cavante Turpin is a chess piece. Somebody gets Cavante Turpin on a second-round tender. We do realize we now got 2 second-round draft picks. I just want you to let that just settle into your brain. Just let that settle in and just marinate for a moment. In this particular draft, what could you do with 2 second-round draft picks? 2. I tell you what you could do. Not only could you get 2 second-rounders if someone gets Cavante Turpin, and then you mess around and trade back. You trade backwards and you go further back in the draft and you pick up another. What if you get another number 2? Or another number 3? Forget about a 4th rounder. If the Cowboys could get 2 2s and 2 3s in this draft, insanity. Insanity. What you could do with 2 2s is insanity. You could literally give up that first-round draft pick, man. You could give that thing up and get you in the second round, both wide receiver and running back. I'm telling you, Cavante Turpin is a chess piece. Cavante Turpin, y'all, is a chess piece. Y'all tell me what you think in the chat before I get out of here. But I'm telling you, Cavante Turpin is a chess piece. I wouldn't want to lose Cavante Turpin. I think he's a playmaker. I think he's fast. I think he's great in the return game. I think he's great as a 4th wide receiver. Really tempered wide receiver. But if you get the ball in his hands in space, he can run it. He can take it to the crib. Cavante Turpin is a valuable piece. But he's one of those danglers that Jerry Jones is talking about. Cavante Turpin, if this all stays true, and they put that second-round tender on Cavante Turpin, I'm telling y'all, I'm literally going to be shocked if he stays out there. I mean, if I'm a team, and I'm already a good team, if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, if I'm the Washington Commanders, if I'm the 49ers, if I'm the Buffalo Bills, if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, Cavante Turpin comes immediately on your team and he makes an impact. And if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, My thought process is we saw some sub 40. We saw some sub 4.40. If I said that right, sub 4.40. Yeah, sub 4.40 running backs out there. I mean, wide receivers out there. Man, we can get one of them in the 5th round. We can get one of these running backs in the 5th round that we saw running 4.4s. We can get one of them back there. We can. I'm telling y'all, and I know this may be blasphemy for some. I love Cavonte Turpin. But Cavonte Turpin is replaceable. Boy, I hate to say that. I know I hate to say that. Cavonte Turpin is replaceable. He is. Cavonte Turpin is replaceable. Y'all tell me, what do you think? Would you rather have Cavonte Turpin or would you rather have another 2nd round draft pick? Tell me what you think. Because I'm telling you right now, boy, man, I'm telling you. Cavonte Turpin is one of those pieces they're dangling out there. And they're dangling them out there. And we're not talking about it. I've already did a video on it, but no one's really talking about it. But I'm telling you, if someone picks up Cavonte Turpin, we're going to cry in the beginning. But I'm telling you, it sets the draft on fire for the Cowboys. It does. You got 2 twos in this draft? It sets it on fire. Your options, the things you could do. Oh, Cleveland, I'll tell you what we'll do. We want Myles Garrett that bad. Tell you what we'll do. We'll give you a number 1 and a number 2. We still got a number 2. We still have a number 2. I'll take Myles Garrett for a 1 and a 2. Myles Garrett comes on your team and immediately makes you better with Michael Parsons. Immediately. It gives you so many options. What if? Hey, Seattle, hey, you want a 2nd round draft pick? Hey, we got one. Because we got an extra for Cavonte Turpin. And we still got a 2nd round draft pick. And we got DK Metcalf. Oh, now we can go in a different direction. Now we can have DK Metcalf, get a running back in the 2nd round, go defense in the 1st and the 3rd. I'm telling you, man, this Cavonte Turpin thing is going to bust this draft wide open for the Cowboys if it happens. I'm just telling you. You tell me what you think. But he is exactly one of these things that Jerry is saying that is dangling out there, and we're not even talking about it. But, boy, it's 100% viable. Cavonte Turpin is a chess piece. He is. He's a chess piece for the Dallas Cowboys. Because to put a 2nd round tender on him, you're saying 2 things in essence. We want him. Because there's probably not a lot of teams, at least I assume, there's not a lot of teams that's going to give up a 2nd round draft pick for one Cavonte Turpin. That's the assumption. But on the flip side of that, I'm going, what if somebody does want him? This draft is rich with skilled players. We could replace Cavonte Turpin. May not be as good, but close. I'm telling us, Cavonte Turpin is a chess piece out there. Y'all tell me what you think. Let me go down a little further in the chat. Y'all tell me what you think. Daniel MG, he said, I think that moves are coming for the Cowboys, but I have to see it to believe it because I have been wrong many times. They're going to make some moves. You watch what I tell you. Dak needs wide receivers to get separation. He throws too many interceptions on tight windows. Some of the, I don't know if he throws too many interceptions. Dak, other than that one season, I mean, Dak has been absolutely fabulous on interceptions. And it wasn't the tight window throws this year that got Dak Prescott the interceptions. You go back and look at the tape, it was the forced throws to CeeDee Lamb. Dak threw a lot of forced throws to CeeDee Lamb. Chanel said Hampton is nice. Don't get me wrong, but Judkins will surprise you. Trust me on that. Hey, I'm not even mad about them Ohio State boys. Alex, what's going on, my man? He said, I'm late to the party. Yes, sir. I went a little early today. Poobie D, I remember Ron Springs. Robert Simmons says, if I get a wide receiver in free agency, or we also draft one too. If we get DK Metcalf, we don't draft the wide receiver unless it's in the late rounds. Dono says, when you have to throw in the tight windows more often, you throw more picks, a lot more tips and things of that nature too. Otherwise, no scout will care about receiver separation. But also what helps you with receiver separation is a run game. You get a run game, you're going to be a lot better too because you get them peeking in the backfield, same way they did against the Eagles. Andre Mosley, what's going on? Yes, sir, Dre. I've been talking about this for the longest, man. I'm telling us. Dominique, he says, I feel the win-win. He said, I feel that's a win-win because they either keep him or they will get another second-round pick. Dominique, man, I'm telling you, I had to really think about this. But do we not understand that if we get 2 number 2s in this draft, it busts this thing wide open and it gives us so many options? Man, you want to talk about going, you could literally say, hey, Seattle, second-round draft pick, here you go. We got you. Second-round draft pick. Man, I'm telling you, this dude is a chess piece. They know exactly what they're doing. Kevontae Turpin is a chess piece. He is. Dak actually is tops in tight window throws. Dak only had 1 crazy interception. Bad season with calling crazy curls and comebacks. And Chanel, don't forget, came off a broke thumb. Came off a broke thumb, and I think he came off a little early. Don't know the best. You're talking about Kevontae Turpin. He says, I'm hoping somebody does, but I don't think they will. I'm telling you, all you need is one person. All you need is one team. All you need is one team. That's all you need. Robert Simmons, and we do get another second round, we can draft Blue from Texas and let him be our punt returner. Robert, I'm telling you, Kevontae Turpin is one of these people. They're dangling him out there. I mean, why do they made the announcement like, hey, second round tender, Kevontae Turpin. I'm telling you, there's somebody out there. Somebody out there, they're hoping to say, we want Kevontae Turpin. That's what they're hoping. The Cowboys are hoping someone says, we want Kevontae Turpin because there is plenty of speed in this draft to replace him. There's plenty of speed. Don't know the best. I don't know who that would be. They would put a first-round tender on. But if you put a first-round tender, I mean, who could it be other than who? Micah Parsons? That ain't happening, of course. I couldn't see anybody else. Gregory Davis, the Cowboys can trade for DK Metcalf for a second round in the 5th. Hey, man, I'm telling you right now, and if somebody gets Kevontae Turpin, I mean, that second-round draft pick is trade bait. You got some trade bait, man. You really do. You could trade your first and get what you want in the second. A wide receiver and a running back, and you'll still be great. But sure, yes, sir. I got him in my in the members only. I got a video on him, ran a 4.34, and he's going late in like the 5th. That would be perfect. I'm telling us, man, we can get this dude if we want to. Dominique said another second-round pick. Sorry, Turpin, like you, but that second-round pick is too intriguing, man. I'm telling you. They put it out there. It's out there. And we don't even know who else they may do this to. I have no idea who else they could do this to, but for sure, man, I'm telling you, this Kevontae Turpin thing, keep your eyes on it, guys. Keep your eyes on this Kevontae Turpin thing. Rodney, step away. What's up? He said, can't keep everybody. Louise says, best player on offense and defense, and you still have 9 picks to fill wide receiver linebacker. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, they're hoping. They're hoping somebody gets Kevontae Turpin. They do. I bet you they're hoping it. Woo, don't know the best. I didn't even think about this. You said, I hope it's the Titans since they got Bones Fossil. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Didn't even think about that. Angie said, I like Turp, but like you said, he's replaceable. Angie, second round pick in this draft. Whoo, boy, I'd be salivating, man. Man, I would be salivating if I'm the Cowboys. Man, I'm sitting up, man. I'm telling you, March 12th come. If I'm the Cowboys, boy, I'm salivating. I'm salivating. I hope somebody comes along and says we'll do it. Matt D said, I would hate losing Turk, but those two scenarios you had with Cleveland and Seattle got me hyped. Matt D, I'm telling you, man, you got what you want if somebody says they'll trade for Cavante. I mean, if they say, hey, we want Cavante Turpin. Hey, man, you cry. You cried first. But boy, you jump for joy when that door closed. you jump for joy. You do. Poopy D, I'm with you. Better route concepts. I think Shotty gonna bring that too. Yes, sir, Louise. There's so many speedsters in this draft. I mean, Cavante Turpin. If there's a draft that Cavante Turpin is replaceable, it's this one. It's this one right here. TA, what's up? He said Colorado. He said Colorado Western for Turpin. Man, I'm telling you, if somebody picks up Turpin, you got so many options. Andre Thompson, I don't trust the front office. Love my boys. You know what? I wouldn't trust them, but I'm going to tell you where I am with this. They are in love with Shotty. The Joneses are in love with Shotty. And they're going to do everything they can do to make it successful, and I love it. Whoa, man, Chanel, didn't think about that one. Vegas would take Turpin. Hey, I'm telling you, man, Turpin is out there for somebody. If they want him, he's right there. TUR says, he says, watch it be the Titans. Man, let me tell you something. I hope it be somebody. I'm telling you, I hope it be somebody. I hope somebody, you know what? I would hate to lose Turpin. But the more I kept thinking about that second round pick, and now hearing what Jerry said, nah, man. Cowboys want somebody to come knocking on the door for Cavante Turpin. They want somebody to come knocking on the door. And we're going to see, too. We're going to see if somebody's going to do it. Yes, Sean Reed, the way Shotty's offense set up, the wide receiver will continue to move and get open. Yeah, and I think they're going to get him some quality ones, too. Oklahoma, Ollie Gordon, we can probably get in the fifth. Man, that fifth round, Matt D, let me tell y'all something. There is nobody more excited about the fifth round for the Dallas Cowboys than me. Boy, I'm more excited about the fifth round than 1, 2, and 3. Man, the Cowboys going to be able to get some serious players in that fifth. It just said, give me Miles. She said, little man Turp, I'll pack your bag. She said, I'll pack your bag. But I'm telling you, Angie, you trade Turpin, man, you open up you open up windows for trades and all kinds of things. Mr. J, don't get rid of Turpin. We don't have a lot of playmakers, but you'll be able to get them. You'll be able to get them. You will definitely be able to get them. Sheldon Johnson said, I don't see anyone getting Turp. We're going to see. Andre Mosley, I'm with you. I'm hoping they go all defense free agency. Andre says Jones will make it happen. Thanks. 9,000. Jerry don't belong in football. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm liking everything I'm hearing from Jerry Jones. I didn't hear nothing I didn't like. I know the media was trying to nail him down on you don't have any. Well, I guess the power went out again.